What up everyone, it's your man Xman87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends news video. And what I have for you today, we'll be going over the newest Marvel Legends reveals from the June 17th, 2024 Hasbro Pulse Fanstream episode. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's talk about it. Skipping the things they revealed before and shut up and take my money, because the first reveal was the Deluxe Odin. They didn't even need to talk about this. It speaks for itself, man, because this is absolutely incredible. A more classic comic armor inspired than what we got of the BAF version in 2015. Dwight said he and Jesse Falcon went back and forth to see which look to go with from the comics, and they just went and grabbed a few pieces from different eras to culminate this figure's appearance. Which, in the comics, it is true that his armor was always altered because I couldn't find this exact look from the comics, but then I found an exact identical match to that of the Bowen design statue from head to toe, at least for the golden armored parts. The blue parts were segmented lines on the statue where this figure is squared out sections, but everything else from the boots, knee pads, gloves, the belt and skirt piece design pattern matches up all the way. Even the torso with the blue chains going around it, everything on the gold matches up except for the crown. This guy is just massive and will measure around the 8-inch mark. The plastic metallic molding on the blue came out beautiful. Even the gold looks great on this guy. I just hope the swirls are not prominent enough to kill it. Don't think it will, because you have a lot of heavy duty sculpting going on, so I'm not even worried about it. Even battle damage scuffs around his armor. All of it looks fantastic, and what got me excited most of all, you guys know I love soft goods, so it was the fabric cape that got me. I'll be able to put him in a seated pose and sit him on a throne. They even made note of that. Would have put this over the top if it included a throne, but I'll get a custom made one. Accessories. This is one of the bigger figures to be loaded with accessories. They normally don't do that for BAF size figures, and we get a lot here. His spear and sword, which also came with the BAF. His two ravens, which came with Herald Thor. Two sea grip hands, a right fist, and a left opened hand. No even hands for those, sadly. Then two interchangeable crowns that swap via headdress style, so you have to remove the hairpiece, kind of like the G.I. Joe classified line, you know, how they have those different kind of wigs. It's funny, but before doing that, you'll have to remove the fur piece first that's attached to the torso above the cape, so you can get him in all sorts of fun looks. My biggest question, and I hope this can happen, if you can pop the head off Odin and put it onto the Destroyer figure, kind of like how the Marvel Selects had the Odin alternate head for display, that's even more icing on the cake for me if that works. All in all, a top 10 caliber figure here. Pre-orders go live next Thursday, June 27th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Pulse and other mainline retailers. No price confirmed yet. This guy is looking like he's gonna be a $50 figure because he's freaking huge. But I'm expecting him to release sometime in the fall with the rest of the 85 years line. So stay tuned for the price. Once I get info, I'll update you guys. Venom, Let There Be Carnage Venom. Venom gets a slight update as a deluxe for the Venom Let There Be Carnage movie to go with the upcoming Carnage movie figure. Only change here is the body is more glossy and the eyes and veins have a more movie accurate deco to it. The newest addition is the multiple tendrils with the Venom heads on it, which the tendrils are removable, by the way. I love that. It gives it a little Venom madness feel to it. Still hoping that gets made into Legends one day. Selects was too skinny, not my taste, man. I think they could have updated him to pinless at least, since it's been about 4 years. Nonetheless, it still looks good, and since my movie Venom figure broke, I'll just wait for this one. They look great together, as you can see the scale here up against each other. It is a Target exclusive, and no further info on release, as it's slated for later this year. X-Men Retro card, Warlord Professor X. This was a surprise to me. Not that I didn't expect him in the line. I had a feeling he was coming after putting out that entire 275 team. I just didn't expect him to be revealed on today's stream, so it's nice when I'm caught off guard like this. I've always wanted this look in his Shi'ar armor, or as I like to call it, Strife cosplay Charles. I thought it was the Vulcan buck at first. I was like, no, that's too big for him. But then I forgot they made that Spider-Man 2099 white suit pinless, and that's decent for him, I guess. I'd like them to find a replacement for this buck, keep the size, but advance some areas for improvement. It's about time now, as this has become the new Bucky cap, but I like the look. He's got the techie line work going on in the torso. The armored parts look great with the blue cape flowing through. The helmet looks awesome. Accessories, he'll have 2 fists, 2 opened hands, and an evil grinning Xavier head. Gonna display this one next to my Lilandra figure. I'll wait for a gold version to put that with my 275 so it can accurately match that team cover. They kind of hinted at doing an X-Men 97 exosuit style one, so, you know, we'll just keep our eyes peeled on that one. But this will be a Walmart exclusive for later this year. Again, no further pre-order info. We get a Brotherhood 2-pack of Destiny and Rogue in her Brotherhood of Evil Mutants attire. Brotherhood Rogue has been very high on my wish list, and now we are getting her with that Brotherhood look so we can put her with our Brotherhood display. She definitely has that villainous look going on with that face, the shorter hairstyle. The new torso piece has a ball rocker joint, and she's got new glove pieces. Only bummer for me is not having an option with the hood over her head. It's just the hood down, but Dwight did mention that's something they can do with maybe a different look down the line. Also, I'm bummed about the boots being painted and not sculpted. They should be sticking out like the gloves. Then we get Mystique's wife, Destiny, another one that I can check off my wish list. It was rumored that this 2-pack would be with Mystique and not Rogue, but again, rumors are not always confirmation, which is why I always wait for the official announcements because anything can change. So I'm sure, just like Loki in the Cabal pack, they just pulled out Mystique to be released in some other way. Destiny looks great. Love the blue. Weird how they painted the flesh tone above her thigh highs here, but couldn't do it for the X-Men 97 Goblin Queen. Only thing throwing me off with the skin tones is her chest looks matted while her thighs look glossy. Other than that, I love everything else, especially that head sculpt with the metallic gold paint. Both figures will include alternate hands for accessories only, no alt heads or effects. It will be an Amazon exclusive to be released later this year, so no further pre-order info. Yo! Deluxe Phoenix. Rectangular reported this and called it, and holy shit. Deluxe Phoenix on the super articulated body with the butterflies and double diaphragm joint. She looks gorgeous, and unlike Dark Phoenix that gave her the bright yellow, this one sports metallic gold. The head sculpt is so lovely, and I love the way her hair flows. Damn, it would make for a nice MJ head too. They look like twin sisters. The accessories go harder than ever. She's gonna have all hands, of course, but the alternate head goes so hard with the dynamic hair and the all yellow pupils, ready to unleash the Phoenix Force, man. But the best of all is the actual Phoenix entity in figure form. It's so damn big, it's like I don't even want to count this as an accessory. It's like a deluxe figure in itself because the Phoenix entity is its own character. I used to think to myself that it would be possible to make the Phoenix as a bath to display something big for a centerpiece, because Selects has done a cool one. Toy Biz did one for their Legends line, but it was very tiny. So yeah, it's almost like my bath vision came true, but less articulated in its own solo release. It does have articulation on the head. Would have been cool to see it on the wings too. They could have made it where some parts could be reused for an X-Men 97 adversary figure, but hey, I ain't complaining, because they can make an adversary figure and then retool that and make it translucent for a fully articulated Phoenix entity figure. I'm sidetracking with my wishful thinking, but I'm just left in awe here, man. This Phoenix base is made of 4 pieces. Dwight demoed the assembly on screen, so you have 3 pieces that form the base, which you can have the Phoenix figure elevate on top of it, and also place the Phoenix Flamebird on it as well, while still having Jean elevated on it. That translucency is going to pop in photos with the right lighting. Bro, I passed out with this reveal. What Black Widow was for last year is what this Phoenix will be this year. Unlike Black Widow, though, with rehashed accessories, this Phoenix wins with newer and richer accessories that stand out more. I'm not here to start up some tribalism flame wars, but I might just cancel my Mafex pre-order because they got nothing on this. They disappointed me with the lack of Phoenix effects. Now I can get that with this, but for way cheaper. But knowing me, I might still keep it because Phoenix is one of my favorite X-ladies, and I think you guys still want me to review her. Yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy both. That's why we collect, right? Not just because of options, but in this case, celebrating a character that I love by owning different multiple versions. Nothing wrong with that. Marvel Legends is about to turn my top 10 to a top 100 this year if they keep this hot winning streak going on. No pre-order info yet. It's coming out at a later date, so we just gotta stay tuned. Next up is the full reveal of the Strange Tales Bath Wave in its entirety, and the first figure reveal is Dr. Voodoo. Honestly, this guy didn't need an update. We didn't need our third Voodoo figure in the line when there are other figures in dire need for an update as a second figure. First, Dr. Voodoo was in the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Book of Ashanti 5-pack. Brother Voodoo, which is him without the face paint and Eye of Agamotto, was in the Doctor Strange Wave Dormammu Build-A-Figure series. Now, his third one here is on the Spider UK Pinless Buck instead of Bucky Cap. New sash and cape. Great details on the skulls, by the way. Looks great, being all filthy and dirty. The cape has a removable Eye of Agamotto if you don't want to display him as the Sorcerer Supreme. They should have included a head without the face paint for a proper Brother Voodoo look if they were going to add that feature in, as he only had the face paint as Dr. Voodoo, I believe. He does have a lot of accessories that outweigh his previous figures. Same staff, but a lot more hands, 3 sets of evenly matched ones, and those twirling flame effects. Not excited for this one at all. Don't need him as I have him already, but I'll get it because I'll need that bath piece. Next up is Dracula. This one caught me by surprise as well. Dracula is an all-new sculpt from scratch, and he just looks superb with all that sharp, edgy red armor. He's got single joints, but judging how long that hinge looks, it looks like it's going to be one of those single joints that gets more range than some double joints do. That was the best choice aesthetically for those sleeves connected to the gloves. Great looking tattered cape, and the face sculpt is absolutely perfect in my opinion. Accessories: he'll have his sword, a right hand to hold that sword, an opened left hand, 2 fists, and an alt head with an opened mouth exposing his fangs. First thing I thought of when I saw this was pairing him up with Shikla, as she was his bride-to-be, but she married Deadpool instead. And I hope we get an updated Shikla with a better body. She should have been in this wave with him and replaced Brother Voodoo, in my opinion. I love that Deadpool story arc. I could put him with my Marvel Knights against Blade, but I'll put him on my Deadpool shelf next to Shikla. Again, I just love that Deadpool and Shikla story arc. They had great chemistry together. Next up, we get Helverine. You know, I was going to include this in my video I made about the top Legends costumes I want to see for Wolverine, but the story didn't meet my expectations. Wasn't bad, but they could have done better. Not going to get into it, but the small gist of it was basically a mysterious demon took over Wolverine's body while his soul was in hell. But I love the look. The adamantium skull with the flaming eyes and the flaming claws look awesome. He's in his brown costume and it's on the Wolverine buck with the pins. Only accessories are fists without the claws. I know Dan Yoon keeps hinting that his favorite Wolverine is yet to be revealed, which I thought was going to be this one, but they said it wasn't. So, being that it's in a brown costume, I'm going to guess that it's probably going to be the Wolverine in his brown costume on an X-Men 97 retro card, and we'll finally get a brown pinless Wolverine. So, my guess is that. If it's not, then I really wonder what it is. Following up with another X-Men character, we get Bloodstorm, Aurora's Mutant X look when she became a vampire named Bloodstorm after being bitten by Dracula, so this is not one I'm crazy for. I see some new parts here on top of some reused parts from her Mohawk look back in the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave. She'll have 2 sets of different open hand gestures and an alternate head with a closed mouth. Next, we get one freeing himself out of the HasLab failed vault, and it is Damian Hellstrom. This one I'm laughing at. Dwight tried to brush it off by saying, now due to the time and advancements in time and technology, we can have a pinless Damian Hellstrom. Totally sweeping the EOV failure under the rug. Nah, bro. Y'all were doing pinless figures back in 2022. Come on now. I know they can't or won't say that, but yeah, there's the difference between this and the HasLab. HasLab pinned, this one pinless. Not a big Damien fan, but it's good to see that they are willing to put out some failed HasLab figures out on the line. When Dwight teased that army of skulls on his IG, I was thinking HasLab Goblin Queen as she came with that accessory. So maybe that was related to this? Who knows? I was hoping for Hela's Undead Army for troop building. It wasn't addressed here, so maybe that might be addressed later? I don't know. We'll see. Oh man, we are getting Mother. I am so happy to see Lilith revealed. This was one I thought was going to be a HasLab tier for the Engine of Vengeance before those tiers got revealed. I think I made a video of that about potential tiers for that Engine of Vengeance, but I'm happy to get a classic Lilith. Sadly, she's just a Shriek repaint. Not gonna lie, I am kind of pissed they didn't sculpt the thigh highs and her arm sleeves. Those were supposed to pop out. They did that for Warbird, not the arms, but at least they could have reused those thigh high legs. I like the silver on it. The deep cleavage cut is very classic to her look. The fishnet decal is the most impressive thing. This is why they should have sculpted the thigh highs first, because now it looks like it's one of those pants that have mesh in them. So yeah, it just looks like it's just all like one pair of pants instead of it being thigh highs over fishnets, but whatever. The green cape is nice, and the head sculpt with her ethereal hair effect is awesome, and they made it translucent to give it that ethereal aura. Only alternate fists for accessories. Overall, I like the figure, but there were some needed improvements. This is one I've been wanting, so I'm still excited to get the Mother of Demons. Next up is the West Coast Avengers Moon Knight. I still don't know why they didn't give Moon Knight the Renew Your Vows body for super articulation. He keeps getting snubbed of that. Same Moon Knight as before, just with some really nice gold looking Egyptian parts. Same accessories as before, only this time we get an Egyptian Ankh accessory. And lastly, the Build-A-Figure is revealed to be Blackheart, and hell to the yeah. I remember saying to myself that the movie, hell, I even told you guys, that the movie Venom figure would be a great base to add some new parts for a Blackheart figure. And we get something even better than a reuse or retool. We get a 100% all new sculpt from scratch. This guy looks awesome and muscular as hell too. He has all the bumpy spikes going around him. He not only has the double diaphragm torso, but butterfly joints on top of that too. He's got the digitigrade legs, or feet I should say. Thank God for not having toe joints there, otherwise he'd be a bitch to stand. But best of all, bendy wire tail. Gotta love seeing more bendy wire frequently. The head sculpt is badass too. I wish they went a little bit longer with the hair. I kind of wanted it exaggerated a bit. Kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom. I used to wreck people with Blackheart in that game. But they gave it a slight purple overspray to give it some highlights. Kind of wish they added some of those highlights on the body. Also, the body could have been a little bit more muscular. I would have liked that. I'm okay with this build. I'm just saying it would have been nice if it was just a little bit beefier. But overall, this is a top of the line kind of bath. Some Ghost Rider related characters in this wave, and after seeing Damien, Lilith, and now this in the same wave, this could set up a future Mephisto release. Hopefully better than that HasLab one, because that really wasn't all that good. But hey, I think with all the Ghost Rider selection here, it's looking like it's setting up a Ghost Rider wave in the near future. Blackheart was said to be measured at around the 8-inch mark, probably flirting around the 9-inch mark too, but they put Daredevil with him next to scale because he did first appear in Daredevil in the comics, and the scaling is great here. I think he's bigger than the Toy Biz one, definitely muscular wise, so forget about what I said about him being a little bit beefier. Yeah, I'll take this over the Toy Biz one, and yeah, I think he is definitely going to be taller for sure. We already know he's more muscular than the Toy Biz one, so Man, I'm so excited to get this Black Heart. He was long overdue for an update. That wraps up the Bathwave. They revealed the new Marvel Legends packaging going forward. It's what you've been seeing lately this year. It's evenly squared out and easier to stack. Not the weird shape like the old ones. Same height as the new modular packaging, but it's wider, potentially making more room to give us some even bigger baths. I'm really digging the new packaging. I like this layout a lot more. Pre-orders go up live this Thursday, June 20th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be an Amazon and fan channel shared exclusive wave. And they ended things with a teaser. Their teaser was a pretty easy one to figure out. I knew exactly what it was the second they revealed it, and with my finger pointed to the screen, I said, that's Kang's blaster. Here's the side-by-side I have laid out for you guys as I posted this immediately after the tease on my Instagram. You can see the design matches up with the wiring around the stock, the huge disc in the middle, and gold tubes around the rim, the rigid lines underneath the barrel. My first initial thought was, a Kang update so soon? It's only been 4 years, but that last one was perfect. He doesn't need an update. But as I stated in my Instagram, if he doesn't come as a deluxe with his time chair, then I'm not interested. Maybe they'll give him soft goods to be able to sit on that time chair easily, but I have my Kang in a seated pose as I'm using Metron's Mobius chair from the DCUC line, and he sits just fine. Unless they intend to give him a longer tunic, I don't know. Could be a multi-pack of a console of Kangs, too. It could include a Mortis and Ramatut and maybe some other of his variants. We'll see, but someone like Kang, who was perfect before, that doesn't require an update, didn't need to be a teaser. I love Kang. He's in my top 10 favorite Marvel villains, but there are just other characters that need dire updates, like the Wrecking Crew before him. It's just a weird choice, man. Again, only way this will be worth it to me is giving him his time chair. Alright, my on-reveal rating for today's showcase of reveals, I'm giving it a solid 7.5 out of 10. The non-Bathwave reveals were solid in my opinion. Even some redos with updates were strong. Odin and Phoenix Deluxes blew me away. Warlord was a great surprise treat for us hardcore X-Men fans. Venom movie update to go with our Carnage is better than a straight up reissue with no updates, giving us some new parts. The Brotherhood 2-pack was much needed to complete Mystique's Brotherhood. I'm down for the Strange Tales wave. I like some of the character selection, even though some of the character selections here were never featured in Strange Tales comics, and if they did, not the right looks, like Brother Voodoo, for example. I think I mentioned this before, but it shows how out of touch Jesse Falcon has been with the line. I thank him for a lot, for what he's done for the toy industry over the years, but bro, just worry about collecting the Disney Marvel checks in your pocket and let someone else supervise the line with better creative control. Otherwise, this wave should have been dubbed Marvel Knights Wave 3. A very Halloween-themed wave, so it's a good wave to open up during spooky season. I only like about half of the wave. Don't care about Dr. Voodoo, Bloodstorm, or Hellstrom. Moon Knight I only want for my West Coast Avengers, as he became the 24th official Avenger, I believe, when he joined the team. I'm a sucker for Wolverine figures as I get them all, but Wolverine wasn't really needed in this wave. None of the X-Men were really needed in this wave, and this is coming from one of the biggest X-Men fans you'll ever come across. But not every day and every figure and every wave will be Christmas. It's Dracula, Lilith, and Blackheart for me that are the real standouts in this wave. Interesting to see another Bath wave to be exclusive again. The fourth following the mindless one, Void and Zabu. I'm intrigued to know why is that. Maybe limiting Bath waves is working for them to control supply and demand. A lot of sellouts since then, like Clea, Crystar, Power Princess, Cable, and more. I can see Lilith being the Clea and Power Princess of this wave. All in all, despite some gripes I might have, I'm still pleased with today's showcase. Top 5 reveals for me, I'll give Lilith an honorable mention, but top 5 for me were Blackheart, the Brotherhood 2-pack. I'm gonna go with Warlord up there too, Odin, and number 1 for me was Deluxe Phoenix. Hands down, Deluxe Phoenix. Cannot wait to get that in my hands. Now I'm kicking it back to you. What did you think of today's reveals? What were your favorite and least favorites? Which figure was the best reveal, and which ones are you locking down for day one pre-orders? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another Marvel Legends news video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.